Tatsuki Fujimoto 17-26. Part 2, Surreal Echoes. The morning fog clings to the quiet city streets like a soft curtain, distorting familiar shapes and colors. It is here that the protagonist of Woke Up as a Girl syndrome awakens, only to discover his body has inexplicably changed. The familiar contours of his reflection have shifted. He is now in the form of a girl, a realization that transforms the mundane act of standing in front of a mirror into a surreal, almost comedic ordeal. Every motion feels foreign, each gesture exaggerated. Brushing his teeth becomes a delicate negotiation with gravity. Opening a door turns into a performance that borders on slapstick. Fujimoto blends humor with unease, capturing the absurdity of identity, the fragility of self, and the disorienting thrill of sudden transformation. Navigating school amplifies the chaos. Classmates react unpredictably, some oblivious, others astonished, and a few suspiciously judgmental. Each encounter escalates the absurdity, while also exposing the social and emotional pressures that accompany adolescence. Hallways bend as if in response to his panic, shadows elongate and twist independently. Desks slide imperceptibly across the floor. The protagonist's inner monologue oscillates between sarcasm, panic, and quiet reflection, highlighting the absurdity and existential tension of navigating life in a body that feels both familiar and alien. Yet, amid the confusion, he begins to grasp empathy, perspective, and the mutable nature of identity, lessons that emerge from the chaos rather than from reasoned instruction. As the surreal tension crescendos, the narrative transitions to the remote village where Naruto of the prophecy unfolds. Lightning fractures the sky, illuminating mud-slick streets and trembling rooftops as Naruto races toward the village temple. Centuries-old whispers of prophecy echo through the wind, imbuing every step with both dread and purpose. The villagers, peering from shuttered windows, seem caught in a liminal space between fear and resignation. Naruto's journey is fraught with bizarre, seemingly alive obstacles. Trees twist unpredictably, animals watch with uncanny intelligence, and spectral figures challenge his courage at every turn. Fujimoto's signature absurdity permeates the setting, each peril balancing existential dread with moments of dark humor. Naruto's inner reflections, sarcastic and analytical, offset the surreal dangers, creating a rhythm of tension and levity that keeps the viewer both anxious and enthralled. The climax approaches as Naruto reaches the temple, confronting a colossal being that shifts between human, animal, and abstract forms. Reality itself warps around them, steps rise and fall unpredictably, lightning arcs in impossible angles, and the temple stretches beyond comprehension. His choices are amplified in consequence. One misstep could awaken the catastrophic force foretold in prophecy. Using wit, courage, and improvisation, Naruto navigates the surreal confrontation, gradually realizing that the prophecy is less a literal threat and more a test of perception, courage, and adaptability. As he acts decisively, the storm begins to calm, the village stabilizes, and the boy steps forward transformed, not just by the ordeal, but by the clarity gained through absurd, perilous struggle. Finally, the story flows to the seaside, where mermaid rhapsody unfurls. A boy discovers a wounded mermaid washed ashore, her tail shimmering with impossible hues suspended between dream and reality. He tends to her cautiously, aware that the townspeople are oblivious, yet the world itself seems subtly hostile. Buildings lean closer, shadows stretch unnaturally, and small objects pulse as if aware of the unfolding drama. When hunters arrive, absurdly exaggerated in obsession and weaponry, the boy must improvise through fog-filled streets, cliffs, and waves to protect the mermaid. Each sequence combines suspense, absurdity, and subtle emotional resonance. The climax arrives when the mermaid finally leaps into bioluminescent waters, leaving a luminous trail. The boy stands silently, understanding the fragile beauty of life, human desire, and the unpredictable magic embedded in the world. By the end of Part 2, the city, village, and seaside have become interconnected through the lens of absurdity, surreal tension, and existential exploration. Characters confront transformations, physical, emotional, and cosmic, while navigating spaces where the ordinary bends, warps, and surprises. Fujimoto's signature blend of humor, danger, and reflection remains central, leaving the viewer both exhilarated and unsettled, aware that each moment of calm is only a prelude to the next surreal challenge. Part 2 concludes with a quiet, charged anticipation, setting the stage for the final chapter, where bonds, revelations, and consequences converge in a climactic resonance of absurdity and emotion.